So we're here at South by Southwest with Catherine Minshew and Alex Kavallakis, co-founders of the Daily Muse and Friends of Forbes Women. So they just did a great panel called How to Lose Co-Founders and Alienate Startups, right? Okay. So they're going to tell us 3 life lessons for co-founders, how to deal with the breakup and some of the ins and outs of losing co-founders.
Yeah, well, so one of the most important things is actually to divide and conquer and to really have agreement between the different people who are founding the company as to whose responsibility is, press, sales, technology, or every different part of the company, and whether or not whose decision making it happens then. And so getting that right at the beginning and being very clear is really important.
Yeah, the second thing I'd say is, and I cannot reiterate this enough, but just to get things on paper. In my first company, we went for about 10 months using documents that were written basically on notebook paper. And even if you have signatures, even if you've made things clear, you really need a legal agreement. First of all, it forces you to handle issues that you might not want to handle. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, that we'll never break up, or we'll never disagree, or if we do, then these things will happen. But when you sit down with a lawyer or an entrepreneur who's been around the block before, you really learn, what are some of the issues you're going to have to face and how can you address them? And having that on paper is just invaluable. If things at any point do start to go sour, you know where you stand, you know what you can do and what you can't. If you don't have a paper, if you don't have legal documents, even if you do have it on paper, you can end up in a really bad position.
I'd say one of the things actually is if you can't come to an agreement on that early on, that's actually one of the first red flags. Right? If it's taking a long time, if you can't come to an agreement, if people don't want to come to the table to make time for those important conversations, that's already a sign that you might be in trouble. So it's especially important to do it then.
I was going to say, again, in the first company we did together, 6 months in, 7 months in, we're still saying, hey guys, we need to sit down, we need to have this agreement, we need to talk about it. And there was so much resistance, and at the time, we were all busy, obviously, it just wasn't a priority. But in retrospect, that's often a sign that you're just not, you're not prioritizing the right things, and that there probably are some issues that are going to come up when you do finally sit down.
Good luck. All right, cool. Great advice from some been there, done that girls of the Daily Muse.